Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our monthly Senior Affairs Committee meeting. Today is September 27th, 2021. I'm Debbie Quaid. I am the chair of the Senior Affairs Committee of Miami Beach, and together with my co-chair, Oscar Lorente from Mount Sinai Hospital, we'd like to welcome you this morning. I'd like to start off reading our mission statement of the Senior Affairs Committee, which is to be advocates for the betterment of our seniors by promoting the physical, emotional, and social well-being of adults aged 55 years and older living in our diverse community of Miami Beach. And we also, as our board members, do have representatives from all of our senior centers: Council Towers South, Council Towers North, Four Freedoms, Federation Towers, Rebecca Towers, Stella Maris, Unidad, and Blackstone. So welcome this morning. We have a very exciting program for you. Our guest speaker, it is a meet and greet with our wonderful, fabulous city manager, Elena Hudak. And we are going to be able to have an opportunity to ask her any questions that affect our seniors. And right now, I'd like to welcome Elena Hudak from the city of Miami Beach. Thank you for joining us.
No problem.
Welcome, welcome.
Thank you, Debbie. I don't know if you can hear me because all of you are frozen
Yes.
on my screen. So hopefully you all can see me and hear me. It's great to be here this morning. First and foremost, thank you for everything you do, not only on behalf of all of our city residents, but obviously all of our elderly. It's really wonderful that we have this level of community engagement and advocacy on behalf of those that need our services the most in so many ways. So it's a pleasure to be here with you this morning. I'm going on my 5th month as your city manager. It has certainly been a challenging time, as all of you know, not only, in our COVID world and all the challenges that we still deal with the pandemic, not only for our own workforce and the health of our workforce, but obviously the health of our city and the issues, the economic recovery of our city. Can you all hear me? I hear
Yes.
background music.
Yeah. Anyone not speaking, please mute. Thank you.
So I'm available to just listen and participate in whatever way all of you want me to. I know there are a lot of concerns about our transportation services to our elderly, not only as it relates to the Better Bus Project being implemented by Miami-Dade County government, but also as it relates to our freebie service. And I've asked Jose Gonzalez, our transportation director, to join us since I'm going to have to be at another meeting at 10 o'clock, and Jose can certainly fill you in on what he's been directed to do by our board, and he's been asked to participate in the county commission meeting. Then he can give you an update on that, and there's some service that has been restored. And as it relates specifically to the freebie service, I wanted to just address that right up front. That was a service that was added actually at my request during our COVID response because we had a gap in trolley service. Our trolley service was discontinued, and we were very concerned about making sure that we were offering our elderly the opportunity to be able to get out and run their errands. And so freebie seemed to be a good option. It's open aired, and we wanted people to have the ability to feel comfortable and use the service. That service was scheduled to end this coming week. To end it this week, to extend it. I'm going to make a recommendation during our budget conversation on Thursday night that we extend it at a minimum. What the level of trust service is going to be that we're going to be able to afford. So that is something that we're in the process of finalizing as we speak. And I wanted to make sure and let all of you know that is something I will be recommending to our board on Thursday night. So I'm here and available to talk to all of you about anything that you'd like to talk about. Just by way of introduction, for those of you who don't know much about me, I spent the last 37 years of my life actually in public service, 35 of them working for Miami-Dade County government. I retired as a deputy mayor, but I was the county manager before the county went to a strong mayor form of government. I spent probably 25 of my 35 years working at the highest levels of county government. I was responsible for that the county has, from transportation to public safety to human services. So I have, again, a very, long history of working to provide services to the community, the regional government at large, which serves about 2.8 million people. The county government as a whole is a very large government with 27,000 employees and an $8 billion budget. The city is very different for me from what I've been accustomed to. I absolutely love it here. I love our issues. I love our services. I love the direct level of engagement that we have from our residents. And it's been a wonderful experience despite COVID and despite the fact that I got here in February of 2020 and in March of 2020, we were in full COVID response. So it has been a difficult time, and it's limited my ability to get to know everyone because unfortunately we spent that first year communicating via Zoom, and here we are a year and a half later and we're still so I certainly hope to meet all of you in person, and some of you I have met in person actually, and get to spend more quality time with you. Any questions, Debbie, or anything that you'd like me to address specifically?
Well, thank you so much. I think it's great that all of our representatives from the senior housing get a chance to see you, to meet you, and to actually hear your background. I know that you're very limited on time, so I'm going to get right to the point. One of the major issues, the Better Bus Project. And before you go, I'll let you step in with Cindy as second. But we do have a senior resident who speaks very well on our issue with the Better Bus Project. Cindy, are you there? Cindy? Okay.
Yes, I'm here.
All
Jean's
right.
on.
Okay.
Jean's on,
Can you
Debbie.
just give Alina, are you familiar with the Better Bus Project?
Very familiar.
So I'm going to just go right ahead and let Ms. Thomas speak to you as a senior and how it affects the seniors. And then if we have time, anybody else can put their 2 cents in. But and let's see, where is she? Are you on here? Inelda? Unmute. Okay.
Hi.
Good morning. Thank you for taking the time to come. It's so nice to see you again. You have our city manager's ear, and so for all of those seniors and actually all the residents that you speak for, go ahead and speak, please.
Well, okay. Well, about the transportation, it has been very, very nice for our residents. I know that the freebie, they're going to stop effective October 1st, right? But this has been a very, very important program to our seniors there in the building where I live, okay? And that's it. Everything's all right.
That's it? All right. Cindy, do you want to speak?
Yes, and Debbie, we have Jean on too. Jean Kulik that wanted to say a few words. Did you want her to speak first?
Yes, please. Yes.
Okay, I'll go on mute.
Good morning to all and to the manager. I appreciate being can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
I appreciate this opportunity because I actually speak for an unrepresented group. We are here in numbers. We've aged gracefully, I hope, on the beach. I came in 1999, and I used to walk all over the beach, up to the News Cafe for breakfast and my Miami Herald, up to Lincoln Road. And I have friends all the way up and down the beach. And when eventually, like fellow residents here at South Point Tower, we're right at the tip of the beach, we started to take to the buses because of health reasons or economic reasons. There are always huge assessments in the older buildings. We've started to take to the buses, and we appreciated it and felt we were in a civilized little metropolitan city, a delightful city with bus stops at the end of the road, 200 yards, as much as I can walk. I could go there with my walker, sit there and wait, and go up and play the mahjong game, which I do weekly with ladies I've been playing with for the last 20 years. And this is going to all change if you remove the bus stops. I'm afraid the trolley service, as great as it is very spotty. And I believe that you have taken 4 million away from the budget, I'm told. So that means that it's even going to get worse, that the county should be so arrogant and decide that south of 5th doesn't count. We are disadvantaged people here, the carless. We are carless. We are not an underclass. We are elderly people who are active, who want to go out and about. We've all been vaccinated. Why shouldn't we? I hope we're going to have the New World Cup Symphony thing come back. We meet up there. We go to the movies on a bus. We go to our games. We can go to our friends in Venetian Islands. We don't mind waiting a little bit, but we need access to that bus and plenty of stops. So they stop outside the building up in 84th or whatever it is that I need to get to, where my friend lives. So thank you for listening to me. I hope I put my points across. I don't think even that people knew. We were blindsided. I happen to have this strange, since I came to the beach, I've always watched commission meetings. I find them fascinating. It's a bit of a vice, I think. But so I was very surprised when Cindy said that we were not going to have any bus stops. Seven, all gone below 5th, and 100 all over the beach. Mrs. Manager, you do not even realize the consequences of what is going to happen. All these people who use buses, they will not be able to walk the 5-6 blocks to get to your bus. It might be zooming over the causeways, but on the beach itself, you know, the carers are not going to turn up. The nannies are going to be late. They'll lose their jobs. The old people will be constrained. And, you know, some of us are disabled, as I say. We can't go that far anyway. So thank you for hearing me out. I appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you so much, Jean.
Debbie, I'm having horrible technology problems, so I'm hoping you guys can hear me because I have a lot of freezing going on in my screen. Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes.
Yes? Okay. Okay, Gina, I was listening intently to you, and a couple of things I want to make sure you know. First of all, you need to know that your city administration, myself personally included, along with our transportation director who's on the call, hopefully, Jose, are you? Okay, perfect. Early on, when the county first came with their planning people to meet with us, we were very clear and very specific of all the things that were unacceptable. As a matter of fact, we sent, I believe, a letter to our commission warning them of what our concerns were, and we placed the item on the agenda twice to make sure that our residents knew and that our commission knew what the county was planning about trying to act, what those decisions were. As a result of that, the county did change. There was a recommendation about service to Mount Sinai Hospital, and I believe they made a change there, and Jose can update you on the changes that they've made. But I will tell you that, you know, it's important that all of you express your concerns to the county directly. It's important that they hear from you directly, that you're your commission representatives, and we can certainly provide Debbie with that information and it can be shared. Diana, who I know is the staff liaison, has that information and she can share it. There will be yet another discussion about this item on October 5th in front of the county commission. And I think that's a very important time. And Cindy, I know you've been a leader in this issue. It's very important that all of our residents be active as all of you are directly with the city of Miami Beach. It's very important that the county hear from you directly, because I personally our concerns over again, and Jose has been directed by our board to be in attendance at that meeting, and we have already sent a letter and a resolution. So it's important that we have the backup of our residents, and I encourage all of you to participate in that process. So I'm going to ask Jose, you want to give an update as to what the county has restored and not restored at this
Sure,
point?
Madam Manager. I'd be happy to. Good morning, everyone. And thank you for raising your concerns. We share your concerns. My staff and I have been working with the county for many months now, ever since the onset of the Better Bus plan. The plan has taken different versions over the past year or so, including trying to react to the reality of COVID. And they tried to introduce that as part of the Better Bus plan as well. The plan continues to evolve. Just about a week or so ago, I attended a committee meeting at the county. It was a public hearing, and I stated on the records what our concerns were, and Madam Manager covered those concerns very accurately. And there was a representative from the Miami Beach Housing Authority that was there as well, Magnolia. Some of you may know her, and she also spoke as to the concern, particularly with the proposed elimination of service in the South of Fifth community. So at that public hearing, it was a very important meeting, because I think at that meeting, the county the county commissioners heard loud and clear what Miami Beach's concerns were, and as a matter of fact, on the floor of the committee meeting, made some amendments to the plan that are still being worked on, if you will, with the county. So we are following up with the county to see what those amendments will look like. The county, on the record, stated that they would be reinstating service for the South of Fifth neighborhood.
Jose?
So yes.
Before you continue, I just want to interrupt you for a moment. I know our city manager has a 10 o'clock meeting.
Mm-hmm.
If she hasn't left already, I want to thank her on behalf of the seniors. And we will certainly get back to her with any questions that we may have. And thank you for bringing Jose on board. Attend your meeting, and thank you for being here.
Thank you, Debbie, and thanks to all. I'm going to stay on as long as possible.
Okay.
Kevin is on as well, and he is like, you're talking to Kevin, you're talking to me. I mean, he keeps me up to date on about everything and anything the community needs, and then any of our residents. So thank you very much. I'm going to stay on for a little bit. Thanks.
Okay. Jose, you were talking about the South of Fifth stops.
The South of Fifth, right. So on the record, they made that amendment to the plan that they would reinstate bus service in the South of Fifth neighborhood. What exactly that bus service will look like is what we are following up with the county. They have not revised a lot of their maps yet. So if you go to their website, you will see some of the older maps, and it was because they were in the public hearing phase. So when they're in the public hearing phase of a project, they don't like changing maps, on the spur of the moment, if you will, so that the entire community has the benefit of seeing the same thing and reacting to it. Now they're going back and making the changes to the plan based on the feedback that they received at the public hearing. So we are following up with them. My understanding is that this may go to the Board of County Commissioners on October 5th. And as Madam Manager pointed out, I will be there. If it's on the agenda, I will be there, speaking on behalf of, of Miami Beach and our concerns. There are about 3 concerns that are outstanding at this point with the Better Bus Plan. One of them is the service in the South of Fifth. The second one is the fact that the county is proposing to eliminate Route 115, which serves North Beach, Middle Beach, pretty much from the North Beach area down to Washington and 17th. So it's a route that has a lot of coverage. Unfortunately, historically, it's had very low ridership and very low productivity. So the county has been looking at that route and is proposing to eliminate it. What we have suggested to the county is, in lieu of eliminating the route altogether, that they replace it with another type of service, such as an on-demand service that could be more suitable for that neighborhood, which is the low-demand neighborhood because it's predominantly single-family homes. So, you don't get high ridership, but there are other transit alternatives. You don't necessarily have to have a 60-foot bus running empty. There are other types of services, such as the on-demand service that we also provide to our community and different parts of our city. And so we suggested that alternative. We're following up with them on that as well. And the third item was with regard to their proposed elimination and consolidation, really consolidation of bus stops. So we asked them to work with us very carefully. They're fully aware that we operate a successful trolley service, and there needs to be connectivity between those two services. So we asked that they work closely with us, and I have no reason to believe why they would not. They have worked. We worked very closely with them and very effectively, I think. And then on that topic of the elimination of bus stops, I do want to caveat that the number, and I don't have it off the top of my head, but it's in. I think it's over 100 bus stops that are proposed to be eliminated. The vast majority of those. So don't let the numbers scare you, because the vast majority of those numbers are the result of the proposed 115 going away. If the 115 goes away, but there's another service, an on-demand service that would substitute it, the bus stops would not be needed, because the on-demand service provides door-to-door service. So you wouldn't necessarily need bus stops. So those bus stops could totally go away without affecting a level of service. So don't let the number scare you, because it is a high number, but most of that is due to the 115, which goes from North Beach all the way to Washington and 17th. So those are the three issues that we're working with them closely on.
Thank you. Cindy? Unmute.
Yes, I'm sorry. I also attended the meeting with Jose last Friday, and the elephant in the room is the consolidation, not just here on Miami Beach, but across the county. And no one is addressing that elephant in the room. And we don't know where people are with walking limitations. The problem that we have, Jose, because supposedly only 2,500 people were interviewed, and like you said, you weren't sure of what the ridership is. I'm a bus rider. I'm a trolley rider. I know what that number is. According to the Dade County ridership report, it's over 108,000 people ride the bus a day, 3 to 5 million a month. And that's this year. And I can send you the ridership report. Where I'm very angry is no one across any of these organizations. It's here for the record. I've interviewed them all. Nobody knew about this project. None of the seniors. And the problem that you have, and I address the first one, is countywide, we don't know where the limitations are with people. I've talked to the Urban League, where they have low-income members across the county. Those buses are the only way to work for people. These people know nothing about this. Here south of 5th, we deploy in just a condo building an average of 20 to 60 employees. None of them live here. We also have Rebecca Towers Housing Authority. All of those people, none of them live here on the beach. Those people take the bus, sometimes 2 and 3 a day. And my concern here is nobody's addressing that elephant in the room. And the second concern I have with the 115, and Larissa from Unidad will speak as she spoke last week, is the concern that we have is across the 115, like you mentioned, a lot of people are getting on and off that bus, going to get their only free meal of the day, which I was not aware of, because you've got people that are on a very low income that are going all the way up to North Beach to get something to eat. Jose, they're taking that bus. Even though the ridership on the 115, if you look at it, is less than 200 a day. It's low, like you said. It's about 5,000 a month. I looked at it for the record. My concern is that we do not do on demand, because when they've done on demand with the county, for people that are trying to get to, late night jobs or whatever with the hotels, Ubers and Lyft are in high demand. And if they're already in very high demand, that is not a reliable source of getting someone to and from where they need to go. Respectfully, I feel that a low-floor trolley paid for by the county would probably be the best solution, because the other bus transports that they're using now for the 150, like the regular smaller bus, for example, a tour bus, that doesn't have a low-floor access. Then you look at a Leon type like bus that Aventura has for the shuttle. Okay, that doesn't have a low floor ramp, so it's not ADA compatible. So the only one of those models that's ADA compatible, unless I'm incorrect, and maybe Milos can chime in, is a low floor trolley. Since you've only got 200 riders a day, with a max 210 in season in February of 2021. Right now, as of June, they had 187 riders a day on that 115. My concern is it is low ridership, but we can't help, we need to help these seniors and disabled people that are still needing to get on the bus. So I think the low floor trolley might be an answer. That's just my recommendation, because freebie is not going to work. We've done that in Mid Beach. It did not work. Online to transportation, the county will tell you they've had poor results with that, with COVID, trying to get people home from Wynwood to the beach and downtown or whatever. It doesn't work. There's only so many Lyft and Uber drivers, and they're going to go for the full fare. That's just how it works. So I respectfully ask for you to evaluate a low floor trolley at the county's expense. But I want our commission and our transportation department to address the elephant in the room, and that is not removal of the stops. Because of traffic and weather, you cannot control how it's going to happen in 15 minutes. We went over this exercise with the trolley. Sometimes it will get there in 15 to 20. Sometimes it will get there in 30 to 45. There is no guarantee, and unless the county can give us a guarantee that those buses are going to run every 15 minutes, which they cannot, this whole thing, like you explained to me, is a test. We're guinea pigs. And I just don't think that seniors and disabled people should have to be a guinea pig because the county wants to try something at a cost of $25 million. There's something else going on here that I don't understand, but what I do understand is that across the county, we can't and don't know where people are with disabilities. They use that stop for a reason. I understand from people attending that meeting with you that there was a disabled person that went and spoke to Higgins. And that person told her she could not walk to her stop hardly as it was. And yet they're going to take her stop away. I don't think that's okay. Do you? And we don't know what that is across the county.
I want to.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I've said everything.
Okay. On the on-demand service, my concern with that, Uber cars, you do not know what type of car you're going to be getting or the type of driver that may or may not have the patience for someone who is disabled by any way. And so that I have a concern with, especially with the seniors. Based on, again, what type of driver, do they have the patience, does the car have the ability to get that walker in there? And that's my comments on demand.
And may I interpose and say that the trolley idea, as you know, useful as it is, to have to change 3 times for 3 different trolleys because of the different sections of the beach. You know, if I go for a 1 o'clock mahjong game, or to visit my friends, and I leave at 5, I can get back after dark if I have to take 3 trolleys. I'm not joking, that's the truth. So don't leave us without one thing that we get on and sit with all the way, please. Not up and down and up and down. As it is, I haul myself in with the walker. So, you know, that is just too arduous, and it's a real hardship. You have to think about that. Thank you.
So I saw that Milos Mastodovic, whom many of you know from my team, I think he was trying to share a screen and possibly say a few words. Milos, are you there?
Yes, thank you very much, Jose. I'm going to try to share screen again. I was sharing it and then it stopped for some reason. So let's address a couple of points in here. Cindy mentioned that Aventura has some type of fixed route, fixed schedule service as well as on demand. Actually, I don't know if you mentioned it, Cindy, but what Aventura has is cutaway vehicles, and they operate along fixed route, fixed schedule. They are high floor vehicles, and they also recently, about a couple of months ago, implemented freebie on-demand transit service using Ford Transit vehicles, which are vehicles with a high floor, but they are fully electric vehicles. I have had a pleasure to take a couple of rides with those vehicles, and I can tell you that they are functioning very well. When it comes to stops, let's just understand that there is what the county is proposing is they're proposing to have a spacing which is a standard spacing for the county of 1/4 of a mile. 1/4 of a mile is about every 6 blocks. Stop every 6 blocks, which doesn't mean that someone would have to walk for 6 blocks. They would have to walk about half of that, which is up to 3 blocks. When it comes to Route 115, Route 115, as we all know, was a very low productivity route, and no business person, and yes, we work for government, but we have to think about this as a business, because ultimately everyone has a limited budget, and we are trying to get the best bang for the buck. So in terms of Route 115, the just average cost per passenger is something that no one would run, as a business, because it can be upwards of $30 or $40 per passenger to provide that service. Typically in public transit service, and our trolley service actually operated at about $2.25 prior to pandemic. Now it's about $4 or so. So that just gives you a comparison as to how much would cost to run 115 route with such a low ridership using low floor trolley vehicles. So, this is just preliminary numbers and, scribble scrabble type of numbers that I was able to come up now while we were talking. So it would be something that would be just prohibitive. On-demand transit service works much better. It is at a lower cost and it's a higher efficiency. It would be a much less of a wait time. Basically, you could determine that you need a certain number of vehicles in order for wait times not to be over, let's say, 20 minutes. I think Cindy mentioned that our Middle Beach freebie was not working before, which is inaccurate. We had about 100 passengers per day, every day, and wait times were never more than 15 minutes. I think the highest were 20 minutes, but that's how we also basically were promoting this service. So if you want to get a ride, you would basically request a ride about 20 minutes in advance. As to who would be, as to the drivers, concern of the drivers. So this wouldn't be something similar to what the county had for their 119 service overnight, which was the Go Nightly program during pandemic, where basically they partnered with the freebie and not freebie with Uber and Lyft. This would be a dedicated service just for this area, and this would be a contracted service just to do, service within City of Miami Beach and within the zone that we would establish in lieu of Route 115. The drivers would go through all background checks that our freebie drivers go so far, and we wouldn't see an issue with that. Ultimately, service would be much better. Route 115 operates at 50-minute service frequency, and let's understand, that is if bus shows up. If bus does not show up, you're there stuck for another hour waiting for the bus, if that even second bus shows up. So reliability of service is nowhere to be found, and no one would want to wait for the bus for 50 minutes, and not even to mention 100 minutes, which is hour and a half. And finally, to address one more point about the stop. So 1/4 of a mile is about 6 blocks. All right, so no one would have to walk more than 3 blocks. As it relates to our stops in here, so I hope everyone sees my screen in here, and you guys see this gray bar in here that I'm moving left and right. So what you see on the screen right now are the existing bus stops. So everything that is with the blue dots and the dark lines are the existing bus stops and the existing routes. If I slide this to the left, I would basically see what the new network looks like. So what we can see in terms of the routes is that there is nothing in the area of South of 5th, which we already spoke about. County has committed to restore service in the area of South of 5th. And we are still working with them to determine what that service would be. Most likely the route 14 would go down south in the area of South of 5th. So you guys would be keeping both the service that takes you directly to Mount Sinai and the stops. There are about 8 stops in the area of South of 5th. Now, as Jose said, county simply did not still update this map, so that's why we do not see in this map in here nothing in the area of South of 5th, but we will work with them, and we will fight very strongly with them to make sure that there is a service that is provided in the area of South of 5th. So we completely agree with you guys. When it comes to other stop consolidation, so let's look at the blue dots. So blue dots are existing stops in here. And let's just look at the area south of 17th Street, just for ease of assessment quickly. So let's see which stops are the stops that are under review, which would be a purple dot for possible consolidation. So the stops that are under review are stops that are along Alton Road and Lincoln. So Alton Road, there are a couple of stops along Alton, which is just north of Lincoln Road, which is actually a stop that is a non-existing stop. We do not have a stop even in here. So it appears that they might be adding a stop in here. A couple of other stops along Alton Road. Obviously, there is nothing in the area of South of 5th. We know the reason why. And there are other couple of stops in purple, such as 18th Street, 20th Street, 23rd and 4th, 2 stops on 41st Street, and finally 2 stops along Harding. So outside, and that's the reason why Jose said, don't let the numbers scare you. Really, why we see 100 stops or so that are being eliminated is because the county assumed in here that service out of 5th would be eliminated. So there are 8 stops right there, and there are a bunch of stops along Route 115 that would be eliminated naturally because service would be no longer operating. That's the only service that serves that corridor. So really, there is, I wouldn't say that there should be a fear about consolidation of the bus stops as long as we can, leave aside the fact that Route 115 might be going away. And I will tell you this, the county operates Service 115. If we transportation professionals on the city side, if we were ever asked, hey, would it make sense to reestablish a fixed route, fixed schedule service for Route 115, we would never say yes, as that wouldn't be the most responsible expenditure or spending or use of taxpayers' money. Just because.
Let me interrupt you on that.
Go ahead.
We all know that Collins Avenue from 22nd, 3rd, 4th, all of that Indian Creek construction is going to go on for the next couple of years, and it is a complete gridlock, complete. And I invite you to go any hour of the day, but especially in the late afternoon. How do they think those buses are going to get through to get people to Mount Sinai as opposed to going Alton Road?
Yeah, Ms. Debbie, I'm not sure what is the last time that you've used bus, but right now how they operate along Collins Avenue is basically Indian Creek is closed. You are right. The construction should be completed mid-2022, I believe. So in a little over 6 months. And Jose, please correct me if I'm wrong with that, as you might have more up-to-date information. And Collins Avenue, even though it's normally one way, currently operates as a bidirectional street between 26th Street and 41st Street. So buses are currently serving that segment of Collins Avenue, both county buses and our trolley service, and they will do the same with the Better Bus. By the way, Better Bus might not even come online before the construction along Indian Creek Drive is completed. So Better Bus.
So it's my understanding there's now another 2 years, but I could be wrong on the construction. I live on 23rd and I have to go off into 26, 27, 28. Yep. And it is just gridlock. So,
yeah. So we recognize also that, Ms. Debbie, and what we did a couple of months ago, I think it was in May, we implemented the freebie service, on-demand freebie service for this corridor or a segment of Collins Avenue between 44th and 23rd in response to current traffic conditions and as a way to mitigate for congestion. So I'm not sure whether you're aware of that service or not, but that service is available to you and it will be available through end of construction, which is again mid-2022. My understanding is. So just to summarize, when it comes to number of stops, again, even though you hear number of over 100, really there are 12 stops that are questionable throughout the city, and that we, through the resolution that will be transmitted to the county, are stating or requesting the county to work with us closely for any consolidations of the bus stop. So don't worry, nothing will be removed without us knowing, and we will strongly advocate for the bus stops to stay in place. And even if the bus stop is for some reason removed from the county route, that doesn't mean that the physical bus stop is disappearing or that the city trolley service won't be serving that stop. So we, the city, are not removing any stops. Ultimately, this is our right of way. County can come and say, okay, we're going to remove the stop. They will remove their lollipop and not serve that stop with their route. But that doesn't mean that our city trolley service won't be serving it. And hopefully in a year or so, we are in a position where we can resume our pre-pandemic trolley service so that we can see a higher service frequency, which is something that would help, citywide mobility. So that's all from me. I think I covered everything. If you have any specific questions, feel free to ask us, and it will be our pleasure to respond to the best of our knowledge.
Thank you very much, Milos.
Very welcome.
Cindy, do you have a rebuttal?
Yes, I have some questions for Milos. Milos, you've met many of the seniors at Rebecca Towers. You've seen Bernie and his walker and Carmen. Do you think they can walk all the way to Publix? Do you think they can walk more than to the bus stop at Rebecca Towers?
I'm not sure, Cindy, what that question is.
My question is they can barely make it to the bus stop as it is. These are seniors that we know about. We know that they cannot make the walk as it is. So your comment about only a quarter mile is not a good comment to make right now, not on the senior call.
Cindy,
because the people, my concern here is equal access for all. I feel that the county, because they have not done their homework, they have no clue what is going on. And I'm trying to sound the alarm. And I'd appreciate, since you have been to the building with Jose, you've seen those people that are very limited walking. This is all over the beach. This is all over the county, this problem. It's not just south of 5th.
Yes, Cindy.
But my point is for you to say, oh, it's just lightly being changed. For someone that can barely make it, like this woman that went with Jose was there and heard her. She says, I can barely make it to my stop now. And you're eliminating that. That makes a difference. Sometimes for a person that has a walker and every step matters. This is important, and it's not to be taken lightly. And this on-demand service, you're trying to sell it as a magic sauce. It's not. And right
Cindy,
now, let me finish, please.
Yeah.
Thank you. My concern here, again, is no one is addressing, and let's be responsible here, because I am going to find out from an ADA perspective if this is even allowed. Because the problem here is no research has been done. When I spoke to Linda Morris from the county months ago, she's like, well, they can use SDS instead. I have Magnolia on the line. SDS only works for a doctor's appointment and approved. And the freebie, the way it's actually working right now with the senior buildings is because Magnolia stacks appointments all day long, so she can utilize 100% of that freebie service. So that way they're going to Publix or they're going to a pharmacy, and it's getting used every single minute, that freebie. But if you just do a free on demand or bus or whatever you're saying, it's not getting 100% utilization. And that's why it did not work in Mid-Beach, because I spoke to some of the people in Mid-Beach last year. I reached out to a lot of them with the Mid-Beach Association. Half of them didn't even know about it. And the other half are like, I can never get anybody to take me somewhere. Somebody's always going somewhere and it's far away or something. So it didn't work well. And I really think that if you're going to take the 115 away, then they at least need to put a low floor trolley, not a high floor trolley, so people can actually get on. We did that exercise at Rebecca Towers, and you saw how nobody could get on the high floor trolley. Everybody could get on the low floor trolley.
When it comes to high floor trolley, we all know what is the background. If you want me to give you a background again, it's going to be my pleasure to do so. But Cindy, I think
I don't understand what you mean by background. I want access. My concern here in this conversation is access. And not discriminating against people with disabilities.
Let me ask both of you. Okay.
Milos, if I may, 1 second.
Yes.
Go ahead, Debbie. I'm sorry.
I think we all have gone over the issues several times. What I'd like to know is what is the next step, if any, to be able to have more of a major input on these decisions that are being made. And I think that arguing the issues is this is not the place to do it, but I need to know the next step that we can do as residents to get our voice heard before it's too late.
So, Debbie, if I can respond to that question.
Sure.
October, and we're going to confirm with the county if October 5th is the next opportunity for voices to be heard at the Board of County Commissioners. When this item is taken up, since it's already been to committee, the next step would be the Board of County Commissioners. Whether it's October 5th or the next meeting in October, because the county meets twice every month, We will be there. I highly encourage, the housing authority. I'm sure they'll be there as well. And just to Cindy's point, because I think she brings up very valid points. Is there a organization at the county level that handles senior affairs that we can reach out to? And sometimes the county talking to county could be more effective. Um, is there, Cindy, or anyone that's on the line, is there an agency at the county that you all deal with that can, we can collaborate, partner with them, and speak in one voice?
I'm still trying to research organizations. I'm going the disability angle, Jose, because what I feel here has not happened. And again, I just had that one conversation with Linda, and I asked her if her ADA coordinator for the bus had researched this information. And she claims he has, and his answer is SDS for those that cannot get on the bus. And that is, but I am researching disability organizations because nobody knows about this. And I really feel that if we did already a pilot, like I shared with you with the trolley, we can't even make the trolley here happen in 15 minutes. And it's no fault of any of your staff. It's the traffic and the rain and everything else. So at a countywide level, throw in, like you said with Debbie, construction for years across the county. There's no way 15 minutes is going to happen. So why do people that have disabilities have to be the guinea pig for this? That's my argument, is that when they haven't bothered to get their opinion or try to make accommodations, thankfully we're going to make accommodations south of Fifth. But I honestly feel that you and Milo should look at a low floor trolley because, like Milo says, that bus runs every 15 minutes. That's about the time sometimes the trolley is with the traffic. So I really feel a low floor trolley at the county expense, not ours, at least to try it along that route, not removing the stops, at least would get people to lunch at Unidad and to the senior activities. And, we can see if that 200 ridership a day is maintained. It's low, but we've done lower ridership with Sunset Harbor and 11th Street with the trolley for over a year. And we've tried things and seen if they've worked. So my suggestion is what I see is that we need to continue to advocate for not removing the stops and possibly a low floor trolley for the 115. That will, because of the route, it's a straight route all the way up to North Beach. It might work.
Absolutely, and I guess when you say low floor trolley, it doesn't necessarily have to be a trolley as long as it's a low floor, comfortable ADA vehicle for elderly and disabled to be able to board and alight.
Have the ramp. I want something with the ramp because see, here's the thing: the reason why, as we went through this exercise with our low floor trolley 3 or 4 years ago, reason why seniors gravitate toward the bus, like Jean mentioned, it's more area in the front. You have the low floor ramp, but since that route is every 15 minutes anyways. That's similar to sometimes when the trolley's been backed up in the past. So even if you ran the trolley at every 30 minutes, it's still an upgrade. Or something similar, but a bus
I just need one quick question. A quick question, Cindy, because we do need to wrap this up. Milos, did I hear you say somebody is looking at adding stops south of Fifth back in?
That is right. So what I was trying to explain, Ms. Debbie, is that we are working with the county and they
when you say we, who's working with the county?
The city.
City.
Jose and myself, correct. And we were directed by the administration, and we actually are sending a resolution that our city administration, or actually elected officials, adopted a couple of days ago, which has to do with 3 things again. Number 1 is for the county to provide for reliable transit service south of Fifth, in the area of south of Fifth. Mm-hmm. Number 2 is to provide some on-demand, at the minimum on-demand transit service in lieu of Route 115. And number 3 is to work very closely with us in case any consolidation of the stops is to happen within the city of Miami Beach. So I was trying to explain to Cindy is that I understand, and I know very well Rebecca Towers, an assumption in here would be that once the county resumes service in the area of South of Fifth, actually don't even remove service in the area of South of Fifth, that Rebecca Tower still has the access to the same two stops, one on the west side and one on the east side. So we would really see that as a non-issue. We just have to work out the details with the county as to what service is that. I believe it's Route 14. And again, when it comes to the stop spacing, it's generally what the county is pursuing is generally 1/4 of a mile, meaning 1/8 of a mile walk. Now, within our city, again, there are only about 12 stops that are questionable. Once the county resumes service in the area of South of Fifth and not taking into account the Route 115. But that's what it is. We don't know really, what is happening exactly or to high level of detail on the mainland side. There is obviously some stops are being eliminated, but what we are primarily concerned is service and stops within our city.
And you don't think there's going to be any final decisions made until you get an answer to this resolution that you sent a few days ago?
Well, there is a Board of County Commission meeting that we believe this plan is going to go to on October 5th. So that's going to be our opportunity to speak to these concerns again.
Okay.
Okay. That's where we are.
I want to thank everybody for all of your time. I know, Milos, thank you for getting on, and Jose and Cindy, I think you can speak with them afterwards. I think you've got most everything out on behalf of our seniors. Thank you, and I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Debbie,
Thank you.
Debbie,
All
I
right.
have a question for Milos.
I'm sorry, what's that? You have a question for Milos?
Yes, I'm sorry. So
Go ahead.
point is a freebie.
Yes.
I don't know why they want to remove it.
So Carolina, I believe that our Madam Manager did speak on that, but I really had some technical difficulties. I heard that she mentioned she's going to be making a recommendation to extend it. I don't know through when, but I know that we will be going before City Commission now on September 30th, if I'm not mistaken, Jose, with a discussion item to see if our City Commission would like to extend it for the entire fiscal year. Freebie service.
That would be
that's accurate. We're having those discussions as we speak to see what options are out there to potentially extend the service for another year.
Thank you, Jose.
Thank
All
you.
right.
You're welcome.
So we are going to start moving along with our discussion of each senior center. Again, I want to thank Madam Manager, Jose, Milos, Cindy, Jean, everyone that's helped participate in this Better Bus project discussion, which is very, very important to all of us, and thank you. So moving along, we are going to have each senior center give us a report and let us know what you may need. Council Towers South. Do we have Council Towers South? Make sure you unmute also. Council Towers North. Four Freedoms. Carolina, you have your hand up? Carolina, you're on.
I'm sorry.
Yes. Okay. Four Freedoms. Hello, where is everybody this morning? Federation. Rebecca Towers. Okay, I know you guys are here. Where are you? Stella Mattis. Unidad.
I'm here. Good morning, everyone.
Okay.
Well, we are working. We have been serving 100 meals, over 100 meals a day. We are fully, completely back to our regular programs, the wellness programs. We are doing the Zumba classes, the Tai Chi classes, and I believe my seniors are happy to be back.
Great. Is there anything that we can do to help you?
The only thing that we are concerned, and is what we were talking to Cindy before,
Okay.
is the access to public transportation for my seniors, because as Cindy said, for some of them, this is the only meal that they
Right.
have.
Okay.
So that's our main concern right now. But for the rest, we're good.
Okay. We'll keep you updated on that. Blackstone? And that's it. Who have we not heard from? Is there anyone else that has any new business for us? Anything that you'd like to bring to our attention? Yes, go ahead. Unmute yourself, Maggie. Unmute. Unmute. Unmute.
Mute. I got
There
it.
you go. Okay, go ahead.
Good morning, everybody. How are you? Okay.
Good.
Everything is okay here in Federation. I have a new classes from Jewish Community Services for yoga and also karaoke and singing. So we are very pleasant to get those classes here. Also, we still have Zumba from the city hall, and everything is okay. The construction is still working down there in the lobby, but everything is okay in the building. Okay. Thank you very much. Okay.
Thank you. Anyone else? Does anyone else have anything to bring to our attention? Natasha? You have to unmute yourself. Natasha, unmute. Unmute.
Natasha.
Hello?
Okay, we got you now. Go ahead.
It's okay.
I knew you were here somewhere.
Sorry. I want to say that in our building, Council Tower South, the activity room is going to remain closed to future notice. So I participate in Unidad in Zumba class. So here is closed. I don't know when it open. Don't know. In the other hand, I want to say that my preoccupation because there is a bicycle and electric scooter traffic in Lincoln Road. So they are cyclists ride very reckless. And this may cause an accident to people walking.
Okay, so
Thank you.
Scooters and bicycles on Lincoln Road?
Yes.
Okay. Scooters and bicycles. Writing down.
Maybe cause an accident because I'm very reckless.
Okay, we'll look into it. Diana will get someone to take a look and see if that needs to be policed. I know they used to in the past, so we'll take a look. Thank you.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Well, it's good to see you.
Thank you. Happy because sorry, in July month I was in Washington City.
Oh,
because
good.
I don't participate. So sorry.
Well, we missed you. Welcome back.
Thank you. So happy. Thank you so much.
And who else? Anybody else have anything they want to bring to our attention?
Debbie, and
Yes?
the seniors don't have an access center. We need to figure out what we can do.
Okay, you want to repeat that, Carolina?
Yes. At this moment, the seniors don't have an access center.
What do you mean by an access center?
It's for food stamps and, Medicaid. Maybe we need to figure out what we can do.
As far as an outreach program, I think doesn't Unidad help with a lot of those areas?
Yeah, we do help with the outreach. We do. So if you have seniors that need help, you can send them to the center to fill out food stamps and some other things. We also help with work too through AARP if they want to work, but it has to be from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Those are the only 2 hours that we do the outreach and the assessments.
Marissa, can you put your contact information in the chat so
Of
that
course.
anybody that needs to have any of those services or your free meal program and the other things that the seniors need, they'll be able to reach you?
Perfect.
Carolina, does that answer your question?
Yes, but what happened for the South, the seniors, live in the South Beach?
They get on the bus and they go up to Unidad. That's our point.
This is complicated, but it's fine. So,
well, what do you think? Do you think
the seniors needed an appointment?
No, they can be walk-ins, but it has to be Monday to Friday, 2 to 4. If you want to make an appointment for them, it will be even better. You can send me an email or you can give me a call and we can do an appointment for them. And that depends. I need to know, you know what, it's better to do it like that. Let them call me and tell me what is it that they actually need, so we can figure out how long we're going to be spending with them in the computer, because we have a lot of people trying to register at the center. And because of the meal programs and other programs that we have, the only time that we can do it is in the afternoon.
Okie dokie. Thank you very much.
And Magnolia, we do not have any service that goes out to the seniors. Is that correct?
No, as a matter of fact, here in Rebecca Towers, we are the social work department, so we help all our seniors here. We take care of their needs when it comes down to their food stamps, their Medicaid, their QMB. However, just to help Carolina with her question about what happens to the senior that lives on South Beach, the city of Miami Beach happens to have community services, and they can also go there if they need assistance in completing those forms. In addition to that, the clinic on Miami Beach, right here on 7th Street, they also assist individuals to complete those applications, especially if they go to see a doctor and they need their Medicaid application, they will process them there. So it all depends where the senior is located, because sometimes if they go or they participate at any clinic, and I don't, just to mention a few, Miami Beach, there is on 12th Street, there's 2 of them, and they also assist their clients with applications such as the food stamps and the Medicaid. So there's a few ways how individuals can get their assistance, and of course, for seniors is more difficult, but those can be accessed through online as well. Thank you. I hope I gave some useful information there.
Yes, you did. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Carolina, does that help?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Okay. Don't hesitate to reach out, and if you need the information from Magnolia, the community service and all, please feel free to reach out to her too. Do we have any new business? All right, so everybody's got their calendar marked for October 5th. You know what you have to do on your Better Beach project. Cindy's kind of our liaison for everything, so reach out if you have any questions or concerns. And with that, I'm going to conclude our September 27th, 2021 Senior Affairs Committee meeting. Thank you all for joining us. Many thanks to Jose, Milos, the city manager, and everybody who's participated. And we'll see you next month. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.